Hello guys, welcome to TNA Throwback. It's episode 48 and it's time to move on from the final resolution pay-per-view and review the post-impact pay-per-view that is Impact on December 9th. So here are the complete results from the pay-per-view, since of course I booked the pay-per-views in real time and I can't really edit it with the program while I'm recording the video. So we got the Feast or Fire match. The four winners of the briefcases were Robbie E. Crimson, Scott Steiner, and Zack Ryder. Gail Kim became the new Knockouts champion by beating Kazarian Love. Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam defeated Beer Money to become the #1 contenders for the tag team titles. Samoa Joe defeated Kazarian in a Monsters Bowl. Austin Aries defeated Eric Young to retain the X Division title, but was then attacked by Homicide and Hernandez. British Invasion defeated Morgan and Tomko in a tag match via distraction from Rob Terry. Devon defeated Jay Leto to become the new global champion after a referee bump. Abyss and Gunner defeated Styles and Daniels to become the new tag team champions. This is a pretty huge heavy show, but I protected a lot of the babyfaces on the show. I have explained that this pay-per-view is used so I can switch the heat onto the newly formed heel group of the World Congregation, and that's why also in the main event we got the Pope retaining over Mr. Anderson with a shocking turn from Bischoff, and we got the main authority figure aligning himself with the heel faction, so everything is right now on their side. So let's move on to the Impact. We start with a fallout from the final resolution, kind of a video recap from what happened at the pay-per-view. The Pope opened the show with his World Congregation faction and welcomed Bischoff as their new man in power. Bischoff said that it was all part of the plan, and he bragged about making fools out of Angle, Sting, and Anderson. Basically, this is not gonna be any. He's not gonna give a detailed explanation yet, but it's gonna be made clear that this was his plan to align himself with this newly formed World Congregation group, and it kind of makes the whole stable more important, and it kind of makes the stable in power when they have a guy in the upper, as an authority figure to make the decisions for them. And I have already told you guys that Bischoff is a guy that I have always seen as a heel authority guy. I had him as an authority since the beginning of the game, so like 11 or 12 months he was a tweener. He was making decisions left and right without really aligning himself with anybody, so this is his turn, and this is how things will go from now on. Of course, Bischoff is supposed to be a fair man, delusional, so he booked Angle, Sting, and Anderson tonight in a #1 contendership lumberjack match where the lumberjacks are gonna be the World Congregation guys. The winner of the match will face Pope at Genesis in 5 weeks' time. Genesis is on January 9th. So besides this Impact, we got 4 more Impacts, but this is gonna be the #1 contendership match. It's gonna be played out on this show. Of course, the idea here is to have these guys fight against each other while the World Congregation guys are gonna beat them up in the meantime, as they are gonna be lumberjacks. The first match on the show is gonna be a rematch from the pay-per-view. Morgan and Tomko are gonna beat the British Invasion via DQ when Rob Terry interferes and attacks Morgan and Tomko, so this feud will continue. Then I get another video hyping Carlito's arrival in TNA. It's 3 weeks away, so Carlito is gonna debut on the December 30th episode. Then we got Kazarian walking into Bischoff's office. Kazarian will demand a rematch with Joe, but instead he's gonna get put together with Joe in a tag team match. The match is next. Creed and Orlando Jordan are gonna defeat Kazarian and Joe when Jordan is gonna roll up Kazarian after he gets into an argument with Joe. This is gonna be the start of a new program, and I we're gonna see how this will develop. Backstage, we will have the Pope praising Abyss and Gunner for winning the tag team titles, but he actually criticized Beer Money. So if you have noticed, the angle of Beer Money getting criticized and being on a losing streak is, of course, expanding here. That's the whole point. Beer Money, as you can see, are having a hard time getting in this new stable, since when they were with Jarrett, they were pretty loyal and it was pretty much good for them. But ever since the Pope took a hold of this stable, they're having a hard time fitting in. Then we get backstage segment where Hardy and RVD are gonna be preparing for the match tonight. In a non-title match, Austin Aries is gonna defeat Homicide, but he's gonna get jumped quickly by EY and Hernandez. So this angle continues. The newly formed group by EY Team Fight Club is gonna continue to torment the X Division champion Austin Aries. Then we get a tag team match. Hardy and RVD are gonna defeat the Motor City Machine Guns in a great match. When I was booking the show, I believe this match got a 4.5 stars. And we are kind of putting over the Hardy and RVD team since they are gonna challenge for a tag title soon. Then we got Sting and Angle backstage. They're gonna discuss Bischoff's turn, agree to put friendship aside for tonight's #1 contenders match. Anderson walked in and Anderson said that things will get worse from now, and he wished them luck for tonight, because Anderson was actually the main guy who was fucked by Bischoff, because he was fucked multiple times, first with the Brian Hebner stuff, then with the turn from the pay-per-view. So this is really not a great situation for Anderson. Then we got Jay Lethal beating Eric Young via lethal injection. Then he'll cut the promo on Devon. Then we get a segment where Bischoff reinstates Brian Hebner and actually appointed him to referee. So tonight's main event is not only a lumberjack match featuring the World Congregation, guys. Brian Hebner is going to be the referee, so I guess there's going to be shenanigans there. And I guess whoever Bischoff likes to face Pope is going to win the match. Then we get an in-ring celebration with Gail Kim, but she's gonna get interrupted by Angelina Love and chased off by her. Then we got a singles match. AJ Styles with his partner Daniels is gonna defeat Gunner with Abyss via Styles Clash. Why I'm doing the match? Because I'm gonna do a rematch soon, so we need to put over Styles and Daniels. And this is kind of a way for Styles and Daniels to kind of start to turn. As Kaz is also. So then we get the Fist or Fire briefcases segment. Zack Ryder, of course, is the one fired. I thought you guys could see this from a mile away. Robbie will get the X title shot, Crimson will get the tag title shot, and Scott Steiner is getting the world title shot. So Scott Steiner will receive a push in 2010. The main event, World Heavyweight title #1 contendership lumberjack match. Kurt Angle is gonna defeat Sting and Mr. Anderson. The finish will happen when the World Congregation lumberjacks are gonna beat up Sting, and they're gonna put Angle over Sting with Brian Hebner counting the pin. Actually, they're gonna beat all of the guys, but Bischoff is gonna make the decision that Angle should win. And actually Sting is gonna sustain a bad injury. There's gonna be paramedics here involved. The whole point of this is to establish Kurt Angle as the #1 contender. So at Genesis it's gonna be the Pope and Kurt Angle. But of course this was all Bischoff's decision, so he actually wants Kurt Angle to face the Pope. Mr. Anderson is, I believe he's played out for right now. Doesn't really need to become to be involved in future world title matches, and I have other plans for Anderson. And Sting for now is gonna be taken out, so Sting is gonna be out from TV. The whole point was for the heel stable to get rid of another babyface that may be a cock in their plan. So Sting is gonna be out from TV from now on. So this was the show. I'm closing it right now, and now we're gonna see each other in the next episode.